Thank you for the can. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with our second input-output show. It's called IOTV. That's new.
You just gave the game away and said that it was input-output TV. That was my line.
Oh, you were going to say that. I'm sorry. You want to say it now?
No, it's good.
Okay. That's our new show. Got a great season coming up, new exciting things. We're in a newly lit studio. Rodney, you've done a great job. Michael's with us tonight. So here we are.
It took a long time
You
to build.
built this set.
He built this. I went out and bought a package.
He bought a package. Anyway, we have got some cool things coming up, and we have cameras. Looks like you robbed somebody. It really does. What are you, downtown again?
Well, you know, it's the weekend.
Oh, well, that's true. That's true.
Now, a lot of people are confused by the whole digital camera thing.
Yes.
You know, why does this one cost me, $50? This one cost me, $950. So I thought I'd spend a few minutes just talking about that and what are the major differences and that kind of stuff.
There are a lot of different ones out there anymore.
Yeah, these are both my cameras. I have this little $100 Nikon L20 point and shoot. You know, it's got a little bit of zoom on there, and it's a pretty good camera.
Yeah.
And I've also got this, which is a Nikon D50, a few years old now, 6 megapixels, but it's a DSLR.
It's bigger.
It's thank you.
Bigger camera.
And the difference between these things is that this is convenient. You can stick it in a pocket. You can walk around with it.
Yeah.
And nobody will ever know that.
Go to
you've got a
amusement
camera.
park or something, you just have it right there.
Yeah, and if you drop it and break it, it's really not that much of a big deal. These things, on the other hand, this when I bought it was $500 without the lens on the front. You can actually remove this lens.
Oh, yeah? Then your lens
Trying
was...
to get dust in there.
You said you want dust in
No,
there?
I don't want dust.
No
in
dust in
there. So
there.
that was about $500-600, and then you buy a lens or two. I've got a.
Now, these probably cost a lot too, right?
This is where you can get into the money with digital cameras.
Ah, they got you.
But that's the beauty of a DSLR camera like this one, is the fact that you can actually add lenses to it. There's really nothing you can do with this one other than open it up and take pictures.
It doesn't even make a good doorstop. This would.
Well, it does actually, yeah.
I'm kind of multi.
But these are good for, this is an 10 megapixel camera.
That's not bad though, 10.
It takes decent pictures. The difference between these things is the sensor inside. There's an image sensor. Back in the old days, you had a piece of film at the back, a piece of negative.
Yeah, it's called a 35 millimeter.
Exactly. And then you would take the picture.
Yeah.
And then it would allow the shutter to open, and the lens would let the light in, and the different varying degrees of light would actually burn into that negative, and then you'd get it developed.
That is correct.
Same kind of things these days, but now we use digital image processors. So the processor, when you click the button, the shutter opens,
Right.
light comes in, it's captured by that image processor.
So you save a lot of film that way.
We don't use any film.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because actually when I was in college, I took a photography class, and we actually was black and white back then. At least we had that. And I'm sorry, back
Was
in
the wheel invented?
I don't remember that, but we'd put it in the tray and the chemicals, and we did all of that. A little dark room. Remember the dark room? It's probably different than the dark room you had in England. Strange people. This actually is a camera too.
Yeah, BlackBerry.
The BlackBerry has a 3.1.
And those are okay for the convenience thing. Here I'm on the phone. Hey, I see a picture.
Yeah.
Take it.
You can try and email it and get, like, if you have it for work or something.
These things are both going to give you good images. These are more susceptible to noise or grain because the
Noise. Now, what do you mean by that?
when you
gritty
take
pictures?
when you get take a picture and there's a lot of like speckles on there, or not speckles, but just noise. It's not as crisp and as sharp as it can
Yes.
be, and that's because the image sensor in this is much smaller than in DSLRs.
I see. And that's why the price difference, probably part of the price difference.
Right. A famous photographer once said, and I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he said it's not the amount. No, it
Billingsley?
wasn't J.
No.
Rodney Billingsley.
It wasn't you, Rodney.
He said it's not about getting more megapixels, it's about getting better megapixels.
Is there a difference in megapixels? One's better than the other?
No, but do you want a camera that's got 10 or 20 megapixels and take okay pictures?
Oh, I see what you're
Or do you
saying.
want one that's got 6 or 8 or whatever and
Takes great pictures. It's not just the megapixel, it's everything around the megapixel.
Yeah, everybody's kind of,
I got
all
you.
the stores will sell you, this has got 4,000 megapixels.
Yeah.
And that's great if you want to print out a billboard poster because that's all the megapixels are going to do. It's going to make you, it's going to give you the ability to take a bigger picture and print out a bigger picture.
So in other words, if you're doing graphic artwork or something, let's say an advertising agency, for example, you would want the ability to be able to print something that big, right?
Right. And I'll show you a picture real quick of a camera, and I'll get Rodney to put this on the screen. This is the new Hasselblad H4D
Wow, that looks
60.
Now that's the regular camera? Just a
Yeah,
handheld camera?
it's got interchangeable lens ability, but it's actually a 60 megapixel camera.
Get out of here. What would you do? Is that an HD, right? Essentially like an HD quality?
I would guess so. I mean, it's just a very large camera.
So that would be used for billboards and things?
Yeah, because it's 60 megapixels. It's going to take your billboard pictures.
Wow.
And I read somewhere online, and I tend to believe it because everything online is true, right? But
Everything that I write.
but I read somewhere.
Just kidding. I'm sorry.
I read somewhere that NASA actually take these up in the spatial and stuff and take pictures of the Earth with it because they're just great image quality.
What would that cost? Do you have any
The
idea?
camera alone, without a piece of glass on the front, a lens is $40,000.
$40,000 for a camera.
You are getting me one for Christmas, right?
I'll probably get you two.
Fantastic. And I just want to show you a picture that I found at Ken Rockwell's site. KenRockwell.com is good.
Yeah.
Great photographer. Got a lot of useful information. So if you go to KenRockwell.com, you will actually see this. This is actually the image sensor from this D59.
So it's in there.
Yeah, it's right at the back.
That looks like a media card or something. I guess wrong on that, right? Am I wrong?
Oh, very.
I'm always wrong.
So it's not always about the megapixels. I mean, if you're going to print out billboards and stuff and big poster size stuff, you want those megapixels. But if you're printing out 4x6 or 8x10 or 5x7, which is the standard size for photographs, you really don't need anything more than 6. You know, it's going to be hard to find a 6 megapixel these
That's
days.
probably 95% of the people out. I mean, you just want a camera that's going to do something for the family, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what all of us are using it for.
And as I say, these DSLRs are great because you can add lenses. The flash on most cameras is really not that good.
This one's got a big flash. Is it? That's
Well,
yeah.
this is the flash now, so you add this on here, and you lock it on. So now you've got
Okay.
this whole thing that's directional, and you can move it around. And
Yeah, this would
it
be
gives
hard to
much
put in your
more
pocket at the amusement park. You know, right. Now the price of this, you've had this camera what, a couple years?
Probably 3 years.
Take a
Yeah.
picture.
I don't want to take a picture.
Take a picture.
Okay, how do I do?
You're assuming he knows how to turn it on.
All right, Rodney, smile.
You didn't turn it on.
I got to cut it on.
And take the lens cap off.
Okay. All right, I'm going to get a picture of Rodney here and action.
I think you've just blinded the 3
Okay.
viewers that we have. But
This costs less now. My point is, this is probably less expensive now.
yeah, you can pick up an equivalent camera for the same amount of money, but it's now got 12 megapixels or 10, which is more than enough for your average user. 1 minute.
Unbelievable. 1 minute.
This is a standard lens, 1855 millimeter. It's a general overall lens. This one's a 300 millimeter zoom lens.
Telephoto? Is that a
Oh
tele?
yeah.
That's what
This
you
is the one you use to spy on your neighbors with.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding.
I thought you were acquitted on that, folks.
So basically, megapixels, cost, expandability with the lenses and the flash units and stuff, versus compact, stick it in your pocket. I ride motorcycles, probably know
Yes.
that. I'm not going to carry this with me on a motorcycle.
No. This
but
you
I do
probably
carry
would.
this.
Okay, well, that gives you an idea of where we are on cameras. And again, every day they're advancing and 60 pixels. Come on, folks.
60
40,000.
megapixels.
60 megapixels. Right, we'll be back with more of IOTV. Let me get another picture, Rodney.
Don't break
Put your
it.
clothes on, Rodney. Here we go.